Are you ready? Are you ready to start walking into the truth that you know you are supposed to be walking into? Are you ready to do some things differently that you didn't do last year, but you know you were supposed to? Are you ready to change some things around in your life to benefit you? I know I am. I was sitting back thinking about my life and thinking about where it has led me up until now. And I'm going to allow myself some grace because, girl, you did that. You did that. But what about that other stuff? What about those lessons that we keep having to repeat over and over and over again because we just ain't getting it? What about that stuff right there? That's the stuff I'm talking about. What about those lessons that we continue to fail, and instead of failing forward, we fall and we stay there. We stay stuck. We stay stuck in that mess, thinking that it's doing us some, I don't know. It's like the human nature in us just want to stay stuck. And it's like, why do you want to stay there? And most of the time it's because of fear. It's because of fear. And I know I've talked about this. I know you've probably heard me talk about this, and you're probably aware of it yourself. But what do you do when that fear is grappling you, when that fear is just like trying to choke you? What do you do with that? For a lot of us, we do nothing because it's a lot of work. It's a task when you remove yourself out that fear, when you start taking those steps forward and you start lifting yourself up out of the dirt. You know, it's heavy. That stuff is heavy. Dirt ain't, shoot. If you ever picked up a 25-pound bag of mulch, dirt, whatever, it's heavy. It's not something that you can just pick up. It's like, okay, you go to lift it up and it's like, oh, okay, it's a little bit of weight there. Imagine that being on top of you. It's a lot of weight there that you have to lift off of you. I think now's a better time than any to start getting it up off of you. Just like a little bit every day. Just like, fling it to the side. Let me get this off of me because I got some work to do. I've been procrastinating and stalling and playing around with this life that I've been blessed to live. Been playing around with God as if he can't take this from me immediately. Keep wasting time because I want to hold on for people. I want to hold on to people. I want to hold off because other people are trying to get their life together, and I'm forgetting that door back there is made for me. It's made for me. So now's the time to take accountability for me. How many years have you done for other people? How long have you done for other people and keep forgetting about yourself? And then you the one running around depressed, or not even running around. You the one sitting on the couch depressed with a bag of doggone candy, a sandwich this big, a plate of food this big, because you're trying to numb those emotions. You don't want to have to deal with it because you know you're not happy. You know you've been doing for everybody but yourself, but you don't know how to get yourself up out of it. Well, let's talk about it. What steps can we take to get ourselves up out of it? The first step is to acknowledge it. Man, I messed up. I messed up big. I did so much for everybody and I keep forgetting about myself. And I know I've been down this road again. And if you continue to go down the same road expecting a different result, but you keep doing the same thing, that is a level of insanity, right? Do we want to keep being insane in this thing? Insane in the membrane. Insane in the membrane. I know I don't. I really have been looking back at my life and I'm unpacking, y'all. And I'm like, man, there's some things I just do not want to bring into this new journey of mine. I just don't want to because it's draining. It's so draining continuing to do the same thing over and over again. Have you ever been in school and you did something and the teacher, I was one of those kids that just used to, I just always had to talk. So I was one of them kids that had to write 100 times. I will not talk in class. I will not talk in class. Eventually you learned it. Well, think about it like this. You keep talking, you ain't learned it, and you're on page 1,253. Because you ain't learned. How many of us are on 1,253? Shoot, some of y'all may be on 1,553. Okay? Some of us may be in the tens of thousands because we just refuse to learn. We refuse to take heed because we think we have all the answers. We think that because we've been living X amount of years that we got it all. We got it all together. But yet and still, when it comes down to it, we praying to God, God, please help me through this mess. I know I ain't listened. I know you told me a long time ago. But still we don't listen. So as I'm sitting back, reflecting and unpacking my life, it's like, you know what, Vet? I think it's time for you to really start paying attention and start listening. There's a lot of surrendering that still needs to be done. We talked about this. If you go back to my past videos, I've talked about surrendering. But like I keep saying, it's more than one thing that you're surrendering. You may think you need to surrender this coffee, but you may need to surrender the coffee. You may need to surrender the smoke. You may need to surrender a lot of things. But we think if we just surrender that one thing, that everything will be all right. But that's not how this thing called life work, y'all. It's a lot that we need to surrender. But we want to keep holding on to it, thinking that life is going to change for us. But how is it going to change if we continue to do the same thing over and over again? It's enough of us. It is enough of us out here doing this insane for the membrane thing. I think it's more important for more of us to get back to that level of, you know what, I'm gonna go this way. I went that way already. Let me try over here, because over there it wasn't working. So I need to try something different. So let's do this for the next few days, for the next month, for the month of January. Let's try some things different and see how that helps us, okay? I love you, long life. I hope you have a wonderful day on purpose. See you soon. Let's check back.